girl Tara, coming to you from thecraftstations.com, and thanks for joining me for another video tutorial. And guess what? It is another episode of Casing Tuesday. Super exciting, y'all. I am in love with this card. But anyways, I can't wait to show you guys how to create it. So casing, for those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. If this is your first time watching a Casing Tuesday video, hopefully you feel inspired. So I'm going to tell you guys what it's all about. So Stampin' Up! Has this term. It's called case or casing. And what it stands for is copy and share everything. I know I had a little struggle with that S because I was going to say something else. Because a lot of demonstrators like to say copy and selectively edit. So I was going to say select instead of share. But anyways, that's what it means. And so on Facebook, there is a group. It's a challenge group that anyone can take part in, and it's called Casing Tuesday. And so you guessed it, on every single Tuesday, on a Tuesday, you know, I had to do it. I had to interject that in there. Every Tuesday, there is a sample card that is taken from one of our Stampin' Up! Catalogs, and it is converted into a sketch. So you'll find the measurements over there as well, even though I don't really use the measurements. Like, I always wing it. That's such is life. That's a terrorism. Like, for real. I don't follow directions very well. But anyways, I digress. To play along, all you got to do is either copy the card as it's shown in the catalog, or you can put your own stank on it, which is what I love to do. Hence how a lot of my projects are born. So I love this because it's a great way to kickstart creativity and get the juices flowing. It also showcases how our Stampin' Up! Catalogs are a great resource for inspiration. And I don't know if you've had the opportunity to check out our catalogs, but let me tell you, it makes you want to buy the whole catalog. Like, it's crazy. But that's what they're in the job to do. That's what they do. That's how they work the business. They create beautiful works of art to inspire you to use the things that you buy. You don't want to just sit it up on the shelf and let it collect dust, even though I'm guilty of that. Some of us are guilty of that, right? But use your stuff. Use your stuff, okay? Cut it up, chop it up, you know, send it out and make someone's day. But I love Casing Tuesday because of that, because every single week they come out with a different sketch, and it's just a lot of fun. It's fun to see other people's inspiration as well. So if you are interested in playing along, you can be, and it's for geared towards any level of crafter. You can be an avid crafter, or you can be a beginner. I always say card sketches are a great place to start when you're starting out. I highly encourage you guys to play along if you want to. I will have a link down in the description box below so you guys can hop on over there. And like I said, it's a free group that you can just partake in. And don't be afraid. Post your project and check out all of the inspiration that's already over there. But anyways, all right, so enough about that. You guys know what Casing Tuesday is, and I'm going to share with you guys today's sketch because it's number 255, and it is coming from page 117 of our new annual catalog. So this catalog actually launched this past week on the 3rd of June. I was so excited, and I placed my order and got it Friday. So I have been playing a lot with all of the goodies that I got out of here. Now, if you're interested to see what I got, I will have a pop-up card or whatever you want to call those things that pop up in the corner. So you guys can check out my catalog walk and my pre-order haul, which I did. And as you can see, like I said, this book is full of inspiration, though. Like, it's crazy. It makes you want everything. But on page 117, I'm trying to get there. This is where this week's sketch is pulled from. So if you notice here on page 117, we are focusing on this really pretty card. This is a really pretty and simple card. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love the color combos too. Really, really pretty. So let's break this little guy down. So they're using the field of flowers in this particular card. And as you can see, they have their card base. They have a piece of designer series paper in the back that's flagged. If you notice on the card base, they did a little bit of stamping. It looked like they stamped off the image, so that way it's not stamped in full strength. So it's really, really subtle. Then they have their piece of Whisper White here. And they stamped their sentiment here at the top. And if you look really closely, they actually cut out the flowers That's really cool. And it looked like they popped them up a little bit. That's neat. All right, so let's see how close I got to this sketch. And like I said, you can either copy it as it is, or you can put your own flair to it. So this is the card that we're going to create, or I'm going to show you guys how to create. And let's see how close it is. It's similar. You see that? But it's different. You would have never known that I took this from a sketch in our book. So let's see. Let's dissect mine. So here we are. We have the stamped, I have my card base. I have the images stamped in the background lightly and very subtly. I have I have a piece of designer series paper in the back that's flagged. I have my Whisper White piece here. This is coming from the Stitch So Sweetly dies because I like the scallop border and the stitching. So I gave it a little bit more character. And then I have my image that's stamped in the background. I have my sentiment here at the top. And I'm going to show you a cool technique called markering, where you can use your Stampin' Right markers to create two tones on your stamps. And then I embellished it with some rhinestones. And of course I did some Stampin' Blend coloring, because you guys know I am like a Stampin' Blends, like, addicted. Just, I love them. But anyways, I'm going to show you guys that too. But it's really simple coloring. All right, so that's the card that we're going to create. This is where you can find it. And I am going to go ahead and tell you guys all of the supplies that I used on this card. So stick around. All right, so the first thing that I used on this card was the beautiful stamp set called Celebrate Sunflowers. And here it is. This was like love at first sight. This is the first thing. This is what I got in my pre-order before the catalog went live. So I've been playing around with it and I'm loving it. I love how big and bold these images are, and they're just beautiful. And people have been making some really beautiful cards with this. Like, you should head over to Pinterest and check them out because they're awesome. But anyways, I digress. So this stamp set is called Celebrate Sunflowers. It's cling, so it's rubber. Red rubber, as you can see, and it comes with 8 stamps. There is this gorgeous flower here and this little one with the little leaves. That one's cute too. And then there's these awesome sentiments in here that I think work for all different kinds of occasions. And the thing that I really love about these sentiments is that they're like 2 different fonts. I love that because it gets me into using my Stampin' Right markers, which I don't use a lot of. So I love how, I don't know if you guys noticed in this catalog though, a lot of the sentiments are like 2 different fonts. Like I was peeping that. I peep your game, Stampin' Up. I see what y'all doing. Y'all trying to get me to get all those collections of Stampin' Right markers. And you know what? I'm sold. It's gonna happen. But anyways, so there's these awesome sentiments in here, and I just love how they flow. Really, really gorgeous. This is also a stamp set that comes with coordinating dies, and they're called Sunflower dies right here. And as you can see, you can stamp the sunflower down and you can cut it out with a die. And you can also cut out separate sunflowers as well. Sorry, I had to let my cat out. But anyways, so you can also cut out sunflowers separately as well. And what's really neat about that is that this detailed die here. You can do it for the leaves as well. Let me show you guys a sample. I'm about to make a mess. I'm making a mess over here. So if you notice, this is a card that I did for my Facebook Live this past Sunday. And if you notice these, the leaves, you see how detailed they are. And it's just 2 different cutouts. And this is the detailed one sitting on top of that. So I think that's, I love it. Gorgeous, gorgeous set. Another cool thing about this is that there are these leaves here that are hooked together. They're all on the same stamp. So when you stamp them, you don't have to stamp like individual leaves. And then the neat thing is that you can take the die and cut them both out at the same time instead of cutting them out individually. So the die is actually linked together as well. And it lines up perfectly. So I am really, really loving this set. And I know this is going to be a great addition in your stash. So if you don't have it, I highly encourage you get it. All right, so the next thing that I used on this card is cardstock. Of course, you need paper, right? So I have a piece of Bumblebee. This is one of our new in colors for 2020 to 2022 in colors from that collection. So I have Bumblebee cardstock. I have a piece of Bumblebee cardstock, which is the layer. And I don't know if I wrote the measurements down on this. Let me see. Nope, I didn't put the measurements. But this piece is like a 5 1/4 inch by 4 inch piece. And this is my standard A2 size card. So there's that. Let me put this aside. Then I have a piece of the 6x6 in color DSP. So there's a pack, I think it's got like 42 sheets in it or something like that. But you get like 4 or 5 of each in color. And I'm using the one with the polka dots on it. I love it. And this piece measures 5.5 inches by 2 inches. I have a little piece of Whisper White here. This is a 1/4 inch strip that I'm going to stamp my sentiment on. Actually, I think this is too small though, so I might have to end up bringing in a bigger piece because I don't think my sentiment is going to fit on that. No, it's not. I mean, it'll be barely fitting, so I might have to get a bigger piece for that. But you'll need a piece that's big enough for your sentiment. And then, of course, I have my scalloped Whisper White piece. Like I said earlier, I used the Stitched So Sweetly dies, which are great background border stamp dies. Yeah. You guys know what I mean. All right, and so then for inks, I am using the following. I'm using Bumblebee and Soft Suede. Now, one thing I wanted to let you guys know is like on my initial card, at the time I created this card, I did not have the inks because they weren't available. So I used Versamark. So on today's card, I am going to try it out to see how I like it, if I like the Bumblebee on it. I guarantee I'll probably like it. But anyways, I just wanted to let you guys know, just in case it looks a little darker than the one that's on here. So I'm using Bumblebee, and I have a Soft Suede. And then I'm using, for my Stampin' Blends, I have Crumb Cake. I have my, what is this called? These are called So Saffron. I was going to say Sahara Saffron. I don't know. Oh, today is crazy. And then I'm using, can't talk today, can't think. And then I'm using my Color Lifter. And then for my Stampin' Write markers, if you notice, I have the two-tone thing going on. I am using my Daffodil Delight and my Pumpkin Pie. So that's going to be pretty cool to show you guys how I did that. For embellishments, I'm using my Champagne Rhinestones. And then I have, of course, you guys know I got to do this, my Wink of Stella pen. And I think that's basically it outside of my normal adhesives. So I'll be using my brand new Stampin' Seal, which is amazing. If you don't have it, get it because it's awesome. And then, of course, I got like my my dimensionals to pop up my card. All right, so now that you guys know what I'm using on this card, let's go ahead and get creating. All right, so the first thing we are going to do on this card is we are going to fold our card base just like that, and we're going to sit that to the side. All right, and y'all probably hearing my cat in the background. He's actually inside today because I am filming this, and we're going to be leaving here shortly to take him to the vet. But he's playing with his toy right now, so he's being very noisy. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little piece of scrap paper. This is my my project grid or grid paper that they have in our catalog, and I'm going to do a little bit of stamping with our leaf. So I have my leaf already mounted, and like I said, I'm going to try this out real quick. He's just over there just meowing. All right, so I'm gonna see how this looks. Let's see here. Oh, that's kind of dark. That's a little lighter. That's even lighter. Okay, so I'm thinking we're going to do the lightest. I don't want to have it completely like full strength on here. Yeah, that works. Yes. So we're going to stamp it off. And I'm just going to stamp it just randomly in the corner in different directions, just like this. Put like a little nibbit here and a little nibbit here. There we go. Then I'm gonna put one in the corner, just like that. So there's the first corner, and then we're gonna do the same exact thing in the opposite corner. All right, so I'm just doing it in the corners, okay? And so we're gonna sit that to the side. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to stamp our flower. Now, I will warn you guys that usually in the past, if you've watched any of my previous videos, I highly encourage you guys to use, or I always encourage you guys to use Memento Tuxedo Black ink when you're doing Stampin' Blend coloring. But I actually liked the look of this. So just be mindful, since this isn't, this is water-based ink, it has a tendency to bleed. So I am stamping my sunflower in soft suede, and I'm just going to stamp it right here at the bottom. Just like that. Okay. And like I said, like if you're using our normal inks with our blends, it does have a tendency to bleed. So you just want to be mindful as you're coloring. Try not to saturate your cardstock too bad, so that way you can, it's noticeable. I managed to luck out on this one. Okay, so I'm gonna just sit this to the side and let it dry a little bit. You know, let it saturate, do its thing, before I actually start coloring on it, because I want to eliminate the smearing. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to do the sentiment part. All right, so let me see if I can find a bigger strip. Oh yeah, this is a perfect one. This is actually this is about 3/4 of an inch, almost. It's a little under that. And this is how I keep all of my little scrap papers, by the way. I don't know if I've ever shown you guys this. Maybe I need to do like some videos on how I store stuff. So these are like the clear cases that we sell in the catalog, and I use them for all of my strips because I always have a ton of leftover strips, and I label them and I keep them in my drawer over here off to the side. All right, so now, okay, and I think I forgot one of the markers too to tell you guys about. It was the black one, or not the black one, it was the brown one. Early Espresso. Let me grab it. Okay, forgot to tell you guys about Early Espresso. Okay, so you need 3 markers. All right, so the first thing that I did for this is I'm going to, so if you look, our Stampin' Right markers are different from our Stampin' Blends. The blends have alcohol ink in them, and these particular markers have just regular ink. The cool thing about this is that don't throw them away because they're refillable. So all you have to do is just take one of our refills and like pliers or tweezers or something, and you pull off the nib, and then you can refill it with the with our ink refills, which is really neat. I may do a video on that too, but that's the thing. But basically there's 2 tips on here. There's a writing tip, and then there's a brush tip. I'm going to take the brush tip, and I'm going to go over the parts of the stamp that I want that particular color. So in this instance, I am going to color the Thanks A, just like that. Saturate that little guy really, really good. And then I'm going to go in with my lightest color first. So this is my Daffodil Delight. And I'm going to color Bunch. Just like this. Being mindful to avoid the Thanks A, because I don't want that part to be yellow. All right. Then I'm going to go over that with my Pumpkin Pie. So we got, I'm just doing the top of the word. All right, and I'm going to show you guys what it looks like when I stamp it down. You see that? It creates this really cool look. Like, I love it. All right. So that's the effect we're going with. Okay. All right, so now we're going to do this for real. For realsies this time, for realsies. All right, so we are going to color this little guy just like that. I just wanted to do a stamp off. And it's always good to do that too, is to check it before you commit. Because sometimes if you don't check it, it might be the wrong thing. Hopefully y'all didn't hear that. That was my stomach growling. All right, so let's see how this looks. All right, y'all ready? Time to commit. Thanks a bunch. Boom. Beautiful. It did it, guys. It did it. And I can't pick it up. All my nails broke off. Had some pretty nails and then they all broke off. All right, so now we're going to just cut this little guy down just like this. And there we go. Isn't that pretty? I love that. I love stamping with those Stampin' Right markers. And this is something new. Like, this is something I recently, like, experimented with. And now I'm in love. And now I got to get all the markers. And like I said, Stampin' Up! Think they slick. They put a lot of sentiments that have, like, 2 different fonts in it. I see you. I see you. Got me over here spending money. But anyways, all right, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to flag the ends of my Misty Moonlights DSP. And I'm not going to do a really big flag. I suck at flags, by the way. Just so you guys are aware. Like, I can never get them even on both sides. So it'll probably be looking a little wonky. I can never do it. I have what's called a triple banner punch, but yeah. That one actually does it too deep. The V is too deep on that one. Y'all, I'm struggling right now. That looks okay. Yeah, don't judge me, okay? I'm still learning too. All right, so there we go. So there's this. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to adhere this stuff down to my card base. So I'm going to take, no, not that one. I'm going to take my dimensionals. Okay, what's going on? Why is these things? Why are these? Okay, there we go. Like it's poking through the sheet. Okay, this is making it very difficult to do what I'm trying to do. But that's okay. You're going to get on my card today. All right, so there we go. We have this one. And we're going to go ahead and flip this little guy around just like this. Make sure it opens up from the right way. And then I'm going to take my amazing Stampin' Seal. And we're going to, whoop, just like that. Adhere this little guy down right here in the center of our card. There we go. Just like that. And this is probably still too, I don't think I cut it down as far as I should have, but that's okay. You guys can still see the difference. Probably should have cut it down a little bit more though in the V. But like I said, that's okay. All right, so now we're gonna set this back to the side, and now we're gonna do our Stampin' Blend coloring. Now, like I mentioned earlier, because this is in Tuxedo Black ink, that Memento, it does run the risk of bleeding. So I'm going to take my dark crumb cake. I'm trying to figure out which end I want to use. Yeah, we're gonna use the brush tip. No, I don't want to use the brush tip. I want to use this one. And we're gonna go around the edge. Just like this. And we're going to color in with the dark. And we're going to do the same for the center as well. And then I'm going to take my lights and we're going to go in the center. All right, so for the rest of the flower, we're going to take our So Saffron. So I'm going to go in. This time I'm going to do it reverse. I'm going to take my brush tip and I'm just going to color in those petals. Now, I'm not actually like focusing, doing like what I want to call focus coloring, like actually filling in the flower because like I said, I am afraid that this is going to bleed and I don't want it to. So I'm just barely touching my marker to the Whisper White right now. barely doing it. And I'm creating lines. I'm not actually coloring. Like detail coloring. If that makes sense. Ah! I just colored in there. Good thing that's a light color. That would have been bad. Sorry for that, guys. All right, there we go. Now I'm going to take my, what you call this thing? My color lifter. I'm going to lift some of this color in the center because I messed up a little bit right there. It's okay. There we go. And you see? How pretty is that? There are a couple of spots where I could probably go back in with my light to make it not as white. There we go. All right. And then this is where you really want to be careful, because I have noticed that my Wing of Stella does pick up the ink. And so you want to be mindful of that as you're trying to color with your Wing of Stella. So I'm barely pressing on this, but I'm trying to be a little quick about it, so that way I'm not smearing my ink. All right, now we're going to attach this little guy to our card base, just like this, with some dimensionals. And then we're going to do the same with our sentiment. I'll put a couple of dimensionals on this little guy too. Maybe 3, not a couple. And then we're going to make sure it's not upside down. And then we're going to stick this little guy right on top. Just like that. All right, there we go. And so now, all right, we're going to take our rhinestones and we're going to place them on our card. Nope, I don't want that size. I want the medium size. These things are pretty too. I have to get some more of these. I love our rhinestones. They're so nice. All right, so there you go. All right, so here is a final look at our beautiful cards. They're so gorgeous. What do you guys think about this color combination and these cards? Let me know in the comments down below. Oh, and if you have the stamp set, have you used it yet? I would love to know that too, because it is amazing. I love this Celebrate Sunflowers stamp set and the dies. I think it's popular. Like, I think a lot of people are in love with this set. So, and it is now available, which is awesome. All right, so if you guys like this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up. I've included links down below in the description box for all the supplies that I used on today's projects, so that way you can order them, and I would greatly appreciate your business. Thank you for supporting me. And don't forget, if you do place an order in my online store, to use the host code if your order is less than $150. If it's over $150, don't use the code, because then you qualify for Stampin' rewards. And I will let you know that Stampin' Up! Is also giving an additional $25 on top of your qualifying orders in Stampin' rewards. They're giving you an extra $25 for a qualifying amount, and you can either do this by shopping or hosting a party. So just FYI, I do host local and virtual parties as well. I know they're opening up the states right now, but if you aren't comfortable with doing a local party, I can do one for you virtually as well. So just hit me up either in the comments or send me an email saying, hey, I'm down for a party, and I will put you on my calendar and schedule that for you. They're a lot of fun. All you have to do is just invite your friends, and I do the rest. And there's a lot of stamping and demonstrations and prizes and stuff like that. Also, don't forget that we are doing a starter kit promotion this month as well. So when you purchase the starter kit, it's $99. You get $125 worth of products, and Stampin' Up! Is also giving a free bundle of choice. So it's either a free stamp set and a punch, or a stamp set and a die bundle for free. So all right, but other than that, that's all I got for you guys for now. So see you guys next time. Thanks for watching, and happy stamping.